Alright, if you want to add a little sparkle, okay, you can add some glass beads or ceramic beads. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you have some kind of container to put some of these in. And you really don't need a lot. I would maybe just grab like a few. It's easier to come back to get more of a color than it is to try and have to divide a whole bunch of mixed beads back into the color area. So I'm going to stick with kind of my Christmassy theme. I'm going to get maybe, I don't know, several of these. I'm just kind of putting them on my little donut just to kind of see how I want to space them out. Okay, maybe a few of the greens. Maybe a few of the reds. Maybe a little bit of these greens. Okay, and whatever I don't use, I have to put back in the right little tubs, okay? So keep that in mind if you're going to be sewing any of these on. If whatever you don't use, you need to put them back. Okay, so I'm going to roll with that. You need to have some kind of little container to put these in. Just for the sake of it, I don't really have a container, so I'm using the top of a crayon box lid. But I'm going to go ahead and take this and just dump that kind of into my lid. That's a lot of beads. Doesn't look like a lot, but there's quite a few there, okay? Okay, also you will need the thread color that matches your frosting, okay, and you will need a skinny thread needle. Your needle needs to be skinny enough that it will go through these little beads. Okay, so you're just going to want to tie one end. I made a knot, but it is going through. So I'm going to go back to this way, and I'm going to go around a few times just to see if I can make that knot a little more substantial. Okay, if it keeps coming through the back of your felt, then that's not going to work, okay? So come through. Okay, it's not coming back through. The cool thing about using these needles is it's super easy to just grab them. Oh dear, this one is a little small. The first one I tried, yeah, this one just shredded my, didn't shred my thread, but the bead broke, goodness. Okay, that one went on. So some of them obviously are skinnier than others. Okay, you're going to slide that bead all the way down. Okay, you want to make sure it's laying flat, and then you're just going to, what I like to do, what makes them even sturdier, is to come back. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here, but hold on. Let me see if I can get this to focus better. There we go. So I'm actually only going through the frosting this time, but I'm going to come back up through. So this is about how wide. You can hardly see my thread here, but it's coming out right where my finger is, okay? I'm going to come about as wide as my bead and come back up through where I came out of, okay? Like this. And I'm going to go through my bead one more time and then go down. This makes sure that your bead does not move anywhere, okay? It makes it really nice and tight on there, okay? To tie off, when I'm using thread, I like to just go through the tiniest little bit of the felt, okay? I come through and I basically just make a loop and go through it like a regular knot, okay? And then I do it again through the same exact spot. Okay, I am not going to clip this off and make a new knot. I am just going to hop over to the next spot where I want a little blue bead. or a bead of a different color, okay? So you will have some stretched lines on the back, but it should be okay. Let's see if my red will go through now. Oh, it did. Okay. So I'm going to come in. I'm going to do what I showed you guys to do before. Go through it twice. Make it nice and sturdy. Turn it over. And tie it off in this new little spot. Do a double knot. Okay, and without cutting it off, I'm just going to keep going. Okay, so you're going to do that until you have this whole thing kind of filled with lots of different shiny, sprinkly beads. Alright, so I have added several, not as many as I thought I would, so I have some leftovers. And I do have a few beads here that were too skinny. I couldn't even use them. Okay, so honestly, if they're too skinny, you might as well not put those back in there. But the easiest way to get these quickly back in there is to just use your needle. And like all of the greens, I think I got them all, okay. And then take them and put them back in. Oh, I realize I have two different greens here. So some of my greens go here. This one, I believe, goes here. Maybe I got those backwards. I don't know. But try and get them back where they go. So I ended up only using about 13 beads total.